Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Leo. This is of course going to be for December 1st to the 7th. But before we get into that, excuse me Leo, I wanted to let you guys all know, and I neglected to say this in the first 4 videos because I wanted to get them out last night. But this month, for Christmas, I'm going to be giving away an Oracle deck. And I'm going to be giving away the Colette Baron Reid Beautiful Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Now, as you can see, this is still sealed and it's plastic, right? And I will be, after I'm done with these weekly readings today and uploading them and premiering them, I will be doing an unboxing. And I'm considering doing the unboxing live, perhaps, so that you guys can watch it and we can talk about the deck and everything like that. Now, once the deck is, of course, unboxed, I'm going to go ahead and use it for my readings. But the person who wins this month, who wins the Oracle deck, you will, of course, get a brand new deck with the seal and everything exactly the same as what I have here delivered to you for Christmas Day. All right, guys, and this is just a way for me to say thank you to all of you for all your support, and you know, you've really like ramped up your views the last few months. It has really been very inspiring to me. The comments that you guys have left for me have been really heartwarming, and it just makes me feel like you know, there is a benefit for my channel being here. It's benefiting someone out there, and that really makes me feel good. So I just wanted to say thank you by giving this beautiful deck away. All right, guys, so Leo, let's get right into your spread for the week. You already know what we're going to do if you're a regular on my channel. I'm going to pull out three romance angel cards, messages out for you. We're going to leave this right there. And then we're going to get 3 of your wild unknown animal spirits, right? Because I do work with animal spirit decks a lot. And then we'll get into your forecast, okay? So let's go ahead and pull out your 3 cards. Forgiving and learning. Nice. We have calling in your soulmate. Wow. And we have let go of control issues. All right, Leo. So I generally don't get into the romance angel messages too much until we pull out your other cards because they're pretty self-explanatory, right? But I do want to say, forgiving and learning, of course, is talking about releasing and healing from the past, right? Letting go, but letting go of control issues also. Letting go of control issues can sometimes just indicate also just letting a situation unfold naturally. This is not to say that you necessarily have control issues, but it just means that, you know, step back. It can mean step back and just let things unfold naturally for a little while. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Of course, calling in your soulmate is related to those of you who have really been visualizing and praying and working toward calling in your soulmate, working on yourself also. Part of calling in a soulmate is working on yourself and your own spiritual and emotional well-being so that when the soulmate arrives, you are actually healthy. So that if they are healthy and you are healthy, you have this good union. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and pull out your animal spirits for this beautiful first week of December. So excited about December. My birthday is in December, so I'm a proud Sagittarius. All right, my lovely Leos, let's get your animal spirit out. You have, we upside down, we have the firefly. Inspiration comes in for you. Air energy, very, very nice. We have the mouse, earth energy. Could be very, you know what, that really should go over letting go of control issues, right? And the tiger. Beautiful, strong energy. Very, very nice, Leo. Okay, let's get right into it. So, firefly, of course, is air energy. It is associated with bursts of inspiration, right? With the firefly, we see that this light is so bright. It comes in the darkness. So we're talking about shedding light on a situation where perhaps you were trying to find a solution and you've just been racking your brains, you know, you just can't find it, and suddenly, boom, there is the answer. This is an air element. That's the alchemical symbol for air at the top of the card. And of course, that certainly talks about sort of solution finding, clear thinking, logical thinking, but absolutely inspiration, like a voila moment, you know. And firefly energy When this is happening around you, this is generally a creative period in your life. You need to be paying attention. Pay attention to all the little details, which is interesting because we're going to get into Mouse. Maybe not all the little details, but what I'm saying is pay attention to little things that perhaps would seem meaningless. Try not to have too much chaos in your life, because it's when you're paying attention, when you're focused, that this inspiration can come in so you can see it. It may be even just something small that happens that suddenly leads you to a thought that you realize, there is the solution. Now the Mouse, of course, comes in with earth energy, and this is funny because I said paying attention to details, but the Mouse is a creature who pays too much attention to details, right? He is earth energy, which is, of course, that alchemical symbol for earth, and he's associated with just being very, very frantic and overworked, bogged down in all of the little details. This is a task-oriented creature that is very sort of like, can get extremely sort of overworked, right? Overworked, overstressed, overwhelmed, right? And then oftentimes what happens is the Mouse really doesn't know what it's doing anymore. Oftentimes this is the type of individual who's like got taken on so much that they end up just chasing their tails, and they really don't accomplish any of the tasks that they really set out to accomplish. You know, this is the person who's always like, I got to do this, but in order to do this the right way, I got to go over here and do this and this and this. Okay, let me go over here. You know, they take no help. They take no advice. They want to do it all themselves, right? They get very, very caught up in all kinds of like little minutia instead of taking a realistic approach, right? And all of this combined can often create an energy of someone who just is very sort of frantic, frantic, nervous, but not really much of an achiever, actually, just really frantic and nervous, right? Chasing their tail. Take care. If you're resonating with this energy, if you feel like you're in a situation where you've been having a hard time finding yourself actually completing things, but you know you're capable of them, it's time to step back for a minute, right? And try to get some perspective on the situation. Maybe let go of some of the responsibilities and be receptive to help, right? The help of others, the advice of others, so that you can get through this. Now, this beautiful tiger. Love the tiger. Fire energy, of course, alchemical symbol. The tiger is associated with overcoming fear. The worldwide tiger is an animal that is associated with fear. In the Thoth deck, we see the tiger figuring a lot in the Wands cards. Certainly in the Page of Wands, because Page of Wands that card is associated with overcoming fear, right? Overcoming fear of people being sort of mean, or overcoming fear of being rejected or ridiculed. Any kind of fears, you know. Fears of things that may hurt our soul or hurt our ego or hurt our ambition. This is a fire energy, right? So we're talking about any kind of fear or anxiety that we have in our lives, just really conquering it. The tiger hunts at night. She's so comfortable in the dark. This is the thing. The tiger is comfortable in an environment that most people would be terrified of, right? She enjoys the moon energy. This is a very strong feminine energy, by the way, as well, tiger. Tiger energy is very feminine, very strong. She trusts her intuition. It's almost as if, you know, she trusts her intuition so much, and her experience and her receptivity, right? She trusts that so much and she trusts that it won't lead her astray, that she doesn't fear the darkness, because she can feel her way through the darkness. She knows where the danger is, and she knows how to protect herself. And so the darkness just doesn't hold any kind of danger for her or fear for her, because she trusts herself so much. And this card is also very much to do with having trust in your inner voice and in your intuitive side, right? To help you through situations that might be a little bit scary. Because oftentimes you kind of, you know, when we feel like we're frightened of what's going to happen, or we're unsure of what's going to happen, a lot of times we kind of have our little voice inside telling us we already know what's about to happen, but we don't want to listen, and so we give into fear. If we listen to our inner voice, that is one of the steps that you can take to overcoming panic. You know, trying to overcome panic or overcoming fear or anxiety is to really face. Sometimes it's better to face up to what your intuitive voice is telling you, even if it's not the message you want to hear, than to live in sort of anxiety and fear. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's get your spread out, Leo, for this week. We're going to pull out anywhere from 3 to 4 4 to 6 3-card spreads. And my regulars know how this goes. Again, these forecasts are going to be different from each other. They may relate to each other. They may relate to the same Leo, or they may relate to different Leos. And Leo, you may not resonate with any of this, and that's fine. So basically, in a nutshell, just take what applies to you, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Also, I encourage you to check out the readings that are associated with the other placements of your planets in your natal chart. So wherever your Mars or your Venus is at, your rising or your moon, check those readings out because you may resonate with them even more. All right, we have Ace of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the Chariot. So some of you are indeed starting a new project. Ace of Wands is the great... Hang on a second. I just realized you guys can't see this. Ace of Wands is indeed the great phallic symbol in the deck. So for some of you, this is a real sort of passionate love affair that you've just maybe recently started with someone. Okay. But what's happening is you are met with the 5 of Cups. And so the person that you have most recently started a relationship with, Leo, is still kind of healing. Okay, you may be dealing with someone who's still healing from the past. You're raring to go. You come in this week with this Ace of Wands. You're raring to go. And your person is very much with, meeting you with the 5 of Cups. And I want to say for some of you, you're going to just have to bide your time and maybe talk to them. Remember, letting go of control issues allows the situation to unfold. Forgiving and learning, it talks about healing. If your person is healing from a recent breakup or something in the past, because 5 of Cups is when you are sort of still grieving for the loss of a relationship or the loss of something in the past. You're still kind of grieving over it, or you're still kind of caught up in it, right? But here, I feel very strongly, Leo, that it's just that you're dealing with somebody who's very caught up in their feelings. However, you round this week off with a Chariot, and so you are making plans for the future, and I believe these plans do include this person, but you're moving forward in any case, Leo. Whether this person is able to sort of get out of this mood and come with you is all dependent really on them and how, and what they want to do. But you, Leo, are very firmly on a track to go somewhere. For some of you, it's almost as if the Chariot has already been happening in your life. You've already been sort of like planning this next stage of your life. Some of you may be moving. Some of you may be getting a divorce. Some of you may be changing jobs. Some of you may be traveling. It's a real big life change, right? But in the meantime, while you've been doing this planning, because the Chariot isn't engaged yet. Chariot talks about laying the path before the Chariot engages. That's why you can see those sphinxes sitting there. But in the meantime, this love relationship has erupted, and you're kind of like, hey, I'm about to go down this road. Do you want to come with me or not? And they're kind of just still thinking about it. Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and there you show up in your own reading, Leo. Okay, so some of you again are coming in this week very strong with a Knight of Wands. You're being really enthusiastic about a particular path that you're taking. You're really sort of like ready to go, right? You're moving forward. You're probably like, being a real like shaker this week, a social kind of butterfly, a mover and shaker. The Knight of Wands is a real sort of determined, ambitious person, right? And this is somebody who's taking real steps towards their goal. This is also somebody who can really invigorate a project, right? If some of the magic has come out of a dynamic or a project or a working environment or creative endeavor, the Knight of Wands kind of comes in and reinfuses it also with this energy. But you're met with a Knight of Pentacles, which is quite interesting. It's like you meet with someone who's very much the same sort of on the path as you are, but they're on a very different path, obviously with a very different energy. They're on this kind of career goal path, and they're kind of like, some of you, I'm going to say, are in a relationship with somebody who's very much like you, Leo, right? And so this week you're kind of having to say, look, maybe we need to enforce some boundaries. Because this person, you guys are very similar. You're both Knights, right? Knights are associated with air. So you're both very quick with it. You like to talk. You like to engage each other. But you are coming in with Knight of Wands. So you're the airy quality of fire, right? So you're the person who's like, very vocal, very sort of, the person to stand up and make the toast, or to stand up and cuss somebody out if they have to be. You know what I mean? You're very communicative, and you have a lot of fire in the way that you go out in the world, because you have that airy aspect of fire. This week, I'm not saying just in general, Leo, but I'm saying this is the energy coming in. This is kind of the energy that you're representing in this dynamic, right? Your person is representing a different energy. They are also a go-getter, but they have a very different kind of style about it. They're much more reserved. This person is going to be a lot more sort of methodical and thinking about the next step than you, right? And you guys are sort of in this dynamic together. And I think the thing is that this week, you just realize you round the week off with Strength, which is your card. It's the 8 of the major arcana. And Strength talks about putting boundaries in place and understanding what you can handle, right? Learning to understand your strength is learning to understand what you can handle, learning not to succumb to things like jealousy or envy or pride, right? Which can really throw you off your square. When you come from a position of pride, or you come from a position of a more baser animal sort of emotion, right? You don't exhibit true strength, and you don't exhibit true stability. And oftentimes, this can come out of a habit of not setting boundaries, right? This is why the number 8 is not only associated with strength, but it is also associated with boundaries and borders and discipline and restriction. Putting restrictions on ourselves to be disciplined so we can be a better person, so we can be a stronger person than who we really are. And so in a lot of ways, this relationship is calling for you really to step to the plate in that way, obviously showing up, but to also realize that if this is going to work, everybody has to set their own boundaries, and they have to respect each other's boundaries, right? This could very well be a very, very good connection. It's just that the way it is right now, this is what it's calling for if you are both to sort of continue being together. Knight of Cups, more Knight energy. There's your Magician, and there's your 8 of Cups. Okay, again, so some of you, more air of... Now here we have more air of cups energy, which is water. So again, we have another Knight. So this week, for a lot of you Leos, there's going to be a lot of communication, right? With all of these Knights showing up, there's going to be a lot of air. There's going to be a lot of communication on all levels. There's going to be a lot of solution finding on all levels. This may be indeed one of the blessings that comes in for you this December. And I keep talking about all of the unexpected blessings and just the turmoil and unexpected changes that are coming, but certainly blessings. And this may be one of them. But in any case, Leo, some of you come into this week with a cup of love, with the Knight of Cups energy, and you're wanting to express your cup of love to someone. You're met with sort of a magician sort of energy. This is quite interesting. Because you round off the week with an 8 of Cups, right? So it could be, the Magician is interesting. The Magician is somebody who's obviously very, very skilled at what they do. They're very good at what they do. But you coming into the week with this Knight of Cups, it's like you want to offer your cup to somebody. But this person ends up turning out not to be either who they say they are, or something goes awry here. It could be that this person is extremely arrogant and ends up turning you off. Yeah. It could be that, to be met with this Magician energy in this sense, right? This is coming in from the outside. And I say this, which is why I say this may be sort of a sort of twisted Magician energy, is because you end the week with an 8 of Cups. And 8 of Cups talks about leaving situations that no longer suit you, leaving situations in which you have poured enough of yourself, and now it's time to put boundaries in place. It's another 8 card like before. Now it's time to put boundaries in place and really set a criteria for the type of people you're going to allow in and how much energy you're going to allow yourself to give to others. So it's quite interesting that you end the week sort of moving away from what is a sort of a shallow connection. You come in with the Knight of Cups, but you're met with this Magician. And so whoever this Magician is, I'm going to say they could have very well been not honest about who they are. You may have found out that they aren't really who they say they are. You may have found out that they believe, that they may have made it seem like they have everything going on, but they really don't. It could also be that some of you are just dealing with someone who's very arrogant, right? Who's just very sort of like they rebuff you, right? In a lot of ways. It could be, for some of you, you may be dealing with somebody, you may be dealing with somebody, Leo, who goes hot and cold a lot, right? And, you know, sometimes they're sort of down and they're kind of like, they're very receptive to you because they're almost like feeling sorry for themselves or whatever. And they're feeling kind of like, you know, nobody's going to love me. Oh, you love me. Oh, thank you for loving me, you know. And you can work with them. But then there are other times it could very well be that this person becomes very arrogant, and they become very sort of offstandish, and they kind of push you away, right? This could be a very hot and cold, because I don't understand why else you would, you know, have such a strong reaction to the Magician. I think that that may indeed be it, Leo. Some of you are maybe dealing with somebody who really runs hot and cold, and this week they're running very cold towards you, and you've just kind of had enough of this sort of bipolar behavior, and so you leave. We have Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Nice. So, Queen of Cups again. Some of you come in this week. This is going to be the last spread. Some of you come in this week with a beautiful, beautiful cup of love. The Queen of Cups has a cup that is unlike any other cup in the deck, as you can see, right? It's very ornate and beautiful, and it represents very much who she is. The Queen of Cups, of course, is so below as above. She is the woman, and she is the stage of the court cards where you really know who you are. You know who you are, you know what you're willing to commit to, and you're willing to be very open and receptive with your feelings and with expressing your feelings. This is someone who also can help others express their feelings and be very nurturing in that way. So Leo, you're coming in this week with this really strong energy, this really receptive energy, absolutely calling in your soulmate. You're met with an Ace of Pentacles, and some of you get an absolutely sort of amazing business opportunity or a business event that you go to, and through this you kind of come and meet your Emperor. You meet your perfect mate, Leo. Some of you are getting a blessing of wisdom and wealth, but you're also getting a blessing of a possible love connection, because you're absolutely calling in your soulmate. And for the Emperor to respond like this, and of course the Emperor is going to be at a financial career or an event that involves your sort of abundance level, your status level, because the Emperor is, of course, the leader, right? The leader in his field. So some of you are going to necessarily be going maybe even to a fundraiser this week, or some kind of work event or something like that, and boom, you're going to come right up against your beautiful Emperor energy. Of course, this is associated with Aries. Some of you, you know, this person doesn't have to be in Aries, but I'm saying Aries is associated with the Emperor. So when we say this, don't think for one sec, you know, you could be dealing with an Aries. That is absolutely misleading, because you could be dealing with someone who has Aries anywhere in their chart that is vibrating very strongly with that placement. So it's misleading to say you could be dealing with an Aries, because most people would automatically mean that you mean the sun sign, right? And so that's why I don't like to say that, unless, of course, you know the natal chart of everybody that you meet. But, you know, just going with the sun sign is misleading, and it actually, it really doesn't have anything to do with it. But you are certainly, this person is certainly resonating with that kind of Aries energy, in the sense that they are probably very fiery. They're probably at the top of their field. They're probably a real innovator. You know, they have that power. They have a lot of stability in their life. This is a healthy Aries who's really in their resonate. You know, this is a healthy Aries energy when it's associated with the Emperor, because we're talking about the divine masculine, and that, of course, is a healthy energy. So we're talking about somebody who is very healthy in the way that they're an innovator. They're healthy in their stability. They're healthy in their leadership in position, or their position of authority. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it. This is your reading, Leo. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this reading. And don't forget, I am giving away this spirit animal deck from Colette Baron Reed for Christmas. Somebody is going to receive it Christmas morning or Christmas Day as a gift in the mail. And I'll be doing the unboxing. Let me put that over here so people can see it. I'll be doing the unboxing for that later on today, and uploading that. And all you have to do to get the spirit animal deck is just to be subscribed to my channel, and to leave me a comment and letting me know that you are interested in the deck, okay? Because some of you may not be interested in the deck, and I would not want to give it to someone who has no interest in actually receiving an animal oracle deck. Okay, guys, but for right now, thank you so much. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But for right now, have a wonderful first week of December, Leo, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.